and we're recording. So welcome, Karen.
Good morning, Mariana. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. So Karen O'Donnell is here today to tell everyone about her book and hopefully share some insights with you. Karen, I'm going to...
Thank you very much, Mariana.
Let you introduce your book.
Okay, thank you. My book is Discover Your Inner GPS. Now, this book was 13 years in the making. I say that because the life-changing event that happened to me was 13 years ago. And my husband was always saying, oh, you need to write a book on that. And I thought, I don't want to write a book that's just about my experience. I want to write it in such a way that the readers would get a lot of tools from it. And so that's the idea of the book. That's why it took so long to actually eventually get it on the shelves as such. So that's why I wrote the book, Discover Your Inner GPS. And the whole idea is that we find that inner compass and that we use that to navigate through life, not our belief systems. So the book is all about changing or ridding ourselves of limiting beliefs, which as coaches, you're all very much aware of.
So limiting yourself of inner beliefs, and does that mean you go right back to core values, or how? Unpack that a bit for me, will you?
Okay. So yes, so with coaches, I work best one-to-one. That's where we go deep. The GPS is, the G is go deep. Okay. Go to the core of the challenge, the heart of the issue. Now that is one-on-one. You know, as coaches, we know we can't have people cooking by reading our stuff. That has to be one-on-one. But in the book, I go through how you can bring an awareness to whether you've limiting belief, emotional issues, challenges. Even if you haven't had big emotional challenges. As children, we are just bombarded with beliefs, rules, no's. I think Helmstetter said that in his book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. Children hear the word no, or what you can't do, 148,000 times before the age of 18.
That's crazy.
So that is so sad. That is so sad. So, you know, we all know when we were, I know I was asked lots of times as a kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? And that kept changing for me. I had no limits on my expectations or what I could do. Anything was a possibility. I could be a ballet dancer. I could be the president. But with all the no's and programming and the limiting beliefs, we lower our expectations and we hide that true self. So my book and the type of coaching I do, it's to unearth that, to clear out the crud of the limiting beliefs and to unearth those hidden treasures of our true self. So that's the mission I'm on, Mariana.
It sounds great, Karen. I've been doing some thinking myself about increasing self-awareness. Okay. And the bit that I'm getting to is, I think I am increasing my self-awareness through different means. But then when I am aware of that, how do I change? How do I evolve?
If you're aware of a limiting belief, you're aware that something's holding you back. Is that what you're referring to? Okay. So if you're aware that something's holding you back, the awareness is great. And that's what the book does. It gives you an awareness. It doesn't quite give you the tools to clear out that, because again, that's something that I do one-on-one. But as coaches, if we have that awareness, it's like, oh, there's that thing going again. We have programmed our RAS. So we're all familiar with reticular activating system, one of our superpowers. So if we are working from a limiting belief, our RAS is looking out for verification that that's at play. And so when you hit on that, when you hit on, oh, wow, that's what I'm doing. I have that running in the background. What I say is bring it back to the source. What issue sparked that off for you? And it's getting out of our mindset. It's getting into the body, getting into the core of us as a person and saying, what challenged that? What made us think we weren't good enough? What was that? It could be even a flippant comment somebody could have said, and we took on board, my needs don't matter.
Okay.
So what you do is, if you find, okay, that's what I'm running, then is what should that person have done for me in that situation? Maybe they should have told me how good I was. Maybe they should have given me a big hug. Maybe they should have encouraged, whatever it might be in that situation. Now you know what the younger Mariana should have received. And you do that for you now.
So you ask for what you need.
Yeah, and give it to yourself. So you're empowering you. Ask for what you need. And if you need that encouragement, and surround yourself, like this group, surround yourself with people who will motivate you, who will encourage you, and who'll be your cheerleaders. Isn't that what a group's all about? So you get that from your group, you borrow it from your group until you have it installed as new programming in you. Does that make sense?
That is making loads of sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Something about that thing about when you're aware of something, you do search for things to justify it. You do. And actually, once you start to question it, then every time you see it, you'll be aware that hold on a minute, that's there to trick me. The kind of even the beliefs of the support for the limiting beliefs gets questioned and can be, start to change.
If it's not in keeping with growing you as a person, it's a limiting belief. And so a quick way of doing it would be just to flip it. So if you had thought, I'm not good enough, I'm just picking on that one, for instance. What's the opposite of that? I am valued. I am good enough. And if you give your mind a job to do and find all the times when you were valued or you felt you were good enough, it may take a little bit of time, but it will find those. So now you're programming your RAS to actually highlight when you were good enough. You put that out there. Each time that little thought, that negative thought creeps in, you see the stop sign, say, whoa, what am I creating here? Have a bit of fun with it, Mariana. Turn it around and then give your mind a job to do. It loves jobs. Find me times when I am good enough, and it will find them, and then you champion you. Create a collage of times when you were good enough. And then you're starting to, change that belief system. So there's lots of ways you can have fun with it.
Thank you. Have you got any kind of tips for coaches that are starting to do this kind of work with their clients? Any things that have really helped from your book?
Get out of your head.
Okay.
Get out of your head. It's not going to, I think when we start off, there's a few things at play, our egos at play. We feel we need to have the answers. No, you don't. You need to get down with your client into the emotion. Go deep. What's going on for them? What matters to them? And how can you help them? Listen, because when you listen, you will really hear the red flags. You'll hear in the listening, you will find the answers. I know it sounds a bit crazy, but you will definitely find the answers. Don't be too quick to jump in with, oh, this is what you need to do. No, listen. And most times with this talking therapy as such, people like to be heard. They want to be witnessed. They want you to witness their struggle. And they want you to say, it's going to be okay. If you can do that, even as a new coach, you're really, really, really going to create the right environment for your clients. So listen, get out of your head.
Karen, thank you so much for your time today. That was brilliant. I'm gonna drop the details of your book, and you said you've got a workshop coming up, so I'll put all those details in the comments.
That'd be brilliant. Thank you very much, Mariana.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you.